question that I'm going to ask each candidate from the positions. I'll begin with the Community Involvement Ambassador. If you both can stand up and then you can make your way. Because we're running low on time, so we want to just run through this. My question to both of you is, how do you plan on increasing this volunteer opportunities for students here at Champlain?
For me, I will focus on the clubs. They have the most diversity on campus. People join clubs, like their different programs, the different nationalities, different accents. So they have different minds, different ways of thinking. I'm going to, for example, make an event, make people more aware of it, why I'm doing it, what's the cause behind it. So go around clubs, talk to them about it, and yeah, that's it.
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. How do you plan on increasing the volunteer opportunities for students here at Champlain?
Okay, well, you might not know that, but I'm a freak on research. I like to research about everything, and one of the things I would do is research for opportunities for everyone to volunteer in any category possible that I could possibly find, whether it is with homeless, for the environment, whatever subject you might find that you're really interested in volunteering. I will find opportunities for everyone. Well, I'll try. I'm not a machine. But I will try my best to provide opportunities for volunteering for everyone in every field. And I hope that answered the question.
My next question is for the communications officers. Oh, right. How do you plan on making sure that every question a student asks in relation to communication is answered? How do you plan on making sure they have all the information they need?
To ask if they have their answers or if they have...
How do you provide their answers?
They're looking for information.
Yeah.
How do we give it to them?
Okay, so they're looking for information. Well, first of all, as I said in my speech, I want to know their interests in the surveys I want to have each semester on Omnibox. So first, the system will be more informed about what students like, and I'm really talking about all students. It's going to be really an easy way to communicate with them. And how will they have their answers? Actually, I'll be sure that on our Omnibox entry, there's going to be really an obvious sign that the CSA is here for them to ask questions with many types of communication services, so in person, email, Omnibox, whatever, and really make sure that this is not only said in the beginning of the year, but all year long.
Thank you. My next question is for the activity coordinator candidates. My question is, how do you plan on making sure that your events will attract the most students as possible?
I'll go. Okay, well, to make sure, what I want to do is bring a lot of variety in the activities I do. So, someone mentioned it, I want to do different activities. So, let's say in a free block, I plan on having more than one activity. So let's say the video games we had this semester, I would do video games but something else at the same time. So the people who are not interested in video games would have something else to do, but would still be considered in the activities. So this is one of the things I want to do, and also to reach the more people I can, I would take the ideas of the students. So I would really make sure everyone gets a say in what they want to do and what activities they want to see in our school.
So, like I said in my speech, I want to place suggestion boxes throughout the school to know what you want to do, what you want as activities, and I'll try to make that happen. And also, I have like a storm of activities that I want to share with you right now. So I want to do a inter-program game. Student versus faculty or staff games, and Olympic games, and many outside activities as well during the fall semester. We need to take advantage of the great weather. Also, I thought of maybe big parties with other CJEFs as well. Many activities with food, and for Halloween, I thought of like an escape maze with with the did have for February. You know, there's a Valentine's Day. I thought it would be funny to do a speed dating thing or like a date auction. And March, you know, a Sugar Shack Finace du buffet. And for the stress week, Zumba or yoga sessions, pro or like spa treatment and massages. Now. So yeah, look for me.
My next question is for the four VP Finance candidates. In your opinion, would it be in the greater interest of students to spend money on several smaller events, or smaller and cheaper events, or fewer, larger, and slightly more expensive events?
I would. Hi guys, so my name is Michael, and I would rather choose option 1 to have small events, which each time we're gonna fund a little bit bigger, more money, rather than one big one. Because if you guys like my option of the unlimited data, that's gonna cost some money, and we're gonna need some budget money for that, and it's gonna take a part of the budget, so we're gonna have less money for instance, a big party. But I think the parties right now are well funded enough. They're big enough, they're nice enough, so you know.
Alright, yeah, like you said, I'm on the same page as that. I think it'd be better to have multiple smaller parties because, you know, throughout the school year, things can get pretty crowded and we can get pretty concentrated with work. So I think it'd be better to have like multiple parties spread out over a larger period of time so that we can have more time to take our mind off work and to just be able to relax more instead of just having all at one shot, and then, you know, you might even end up being too hungover to do your homework the next day.
So what I would do is one big party per semester and multiple smaller ones, because if they're less crowd, then you get to know people a bit more and you can make more friends. So I think that having big party as well is a good idea, but since it's more costly, I would only do one per semester, probably at the end of the semester, so that we could, like, after the exam, we can just de-stress.
My answer will actually depend on how much do we have right now, because what I can promise and what I can do is basically to minimize the budget for one activity and do more activities as many as possible. Thanks.
As Vice President of External Affairs, your job will be to liaise between the CSA and the administration by representing students' interests at various meetings. How do you plan on making sure that students' best interests are always voiced and heard by the college? Also, this two-part question, how do you plan on increasing the working relationship between CSA and other student associations?
Well, as I said in my kind of introduction, I propose of doing assembly so that people could voice their opinion on a monthly or bi-monthly basis. And I want to do it maybe during the free block, or at least during a time where there's more people at school, so people know about it and they're more aware of it and they're more inclined to go than if they have to stay at school. The other suggestion I said also was to implant a drop box for people to voice their complaint, and that's the part where I could better represent students with the administration. I think a lot of people have complaints. They would not be willing to voice themselves while I propose myself as a representative to voice their complaints. And I think that would be one good way to do it, is to ensure that people who want to voice their complaints and do it anonymously can. On the second part, which was the relation between the CSA and other associations. Well, I think there's already a lot of links between the Champlain Student Association and other English associations, but I think we have to go on a bigger scope. because we're not only English students, we're students, and issues that concern students concern every student. So I would try to make contact, but not necessarily contraignant, sorry for the use of French, contacts with other associations and French associations as well as English ones. Thank you.
So, I really hate the mic, so I'm just gonna. When it comes to students and faculty, I do believe that the relationship between is crucial because it's the faculty that provides us our education that we will need, and it's we who accept their ways and their instructions in order to eventually learn and to move forward. So I do believe that maintaining such a relationship is crucial when it comes to our better understanding of school and the importance of school. So I do believe that people should have the opportunity to do so by, like I said before, through means of communication that will be increased, through the different aspects of the whole entire CSA. People could come see me. People could just speak around. It doesn't matter. And I also believe that there's also the other end of the spectrum, although we do represent the CSA, going to speak with faculty if ever they have a general opinion on maybe this class has a little bit of problems or whatsoever. I think that being able to maintain peace between both sides, not saying it's a war zone or whatever, but that being able to have both sides of the spectrum will be the best way to increase communication and strength between the two. When it comes to the other students associations, yes. Yeah. Okay. When it comes to the other students associations, like my colleague said over here, it is a good idea to widen our spectrum from the English community. But I do believe the English community is also very crucial because they are like our brothers. We're in a brotherhood of English community in Quebec, whether we like it or not. I do believe that by maybe making more meetings, making our meetings maybe more pertinent, having specific ideas that are coming straight from the students as well as from our own opinions, we'll be able to maximize the efficiency of these meetings and we'll be able to eventually strengthen our relationship within each other to then be able to prosper all together.
Thank you.
Those are big.
Why do you think you are the right person to serve as the liaison between the CSA and its clubs? Also, how do you plan on increasing club life here on campus?
Alright, thank you. As I said earlier, I have 3 years of experience as president of one of the clubs. In fact, my club is one of the fastest growing clubs, it's a ski club. It's quite successful. Now, as for wait, can you repeat the first question real quick?
Why do you think you're the right person to serve as liaison between the CSA and its clubs?
Alright, as for liaison, as I said, 3 semesters experience. I've also done a lot of dealings with the CSA. As a president, I have to go see the CSA. I'm sure John here could.
I do.
Attest to that?
Attest to that, yes. I see them on average maybe twice, 3 times a day, which is quite annoying.
Yeah.
Now, that's how. That's the first question. Can you repeat the second question?
How do you plan on increasing club life here on campus?
Yes, that one's easy. Alright. The clubs contribute so much to student life, but unfortunately, clubs don't have the biggest budget. T-Club has a $100 budget per semester. You can't really buy much with $100. I look forward to working with the future VP of Finance into addressing the serious budget issues clubs face at this moment.
For me, just to answer both of these questions, I think I said it when I talked first. I think as a VP of Internal Affairs, I want to be the person that goes out there. I want to have the problem in my hands. I like to do it myself, to know the resolution. I myself am in many clubs, and I know how it works. And I think to get people more into the clubs and to have different mini clubs, I should talk to the people, know what they like, what they want, and that's the only way to help people is to know what they want. Thank you.
Well, like I said in my speech, I want to open clubs to everyone. So by everyone, I mean myself, because although I might be part of the CSA, I'm also a student, so I could go into a clubs and just like talk with others and learn about the problems and issues that might arise. And I don't agree with what someone said. Like, although clubs have $100, you could create, if you do your research and all, you could create as many events as you can with a limited budget. Find the cheapest stuff, don't buy something that you already have. And yeah, just like I said during my speech, just talking with the execs and using the minimum to get the maximum.
So again, my name is Brandon. As I've said, it's going to be my 4th year next year, so I've seen like the rise and fall of a lot of clubs. I've also been in and out of a lot of clubs over the past 3 years. So that's why I would be a good liaison officer between the clubs and the CSA. Also, to bring more people to the clubs, I want to do more club fairs every semester, because this year I think we only had one at the beginning of the year. And as you know, the dance club nobody knew about, as everybody saw and spotted. So a lot of the clubs don't get the recognition that they should have. So club fairs is a great idea. Another thing would be help the clubs run more activities, so they get more time in like the spotlight throughout the semester.
Can I ask a question?
After.
Alright. When dealing with clubs, the thing is, like I said in my opening speech, each of them are different and each of them are unique. And that means sitting down with each club and figuring out for them what they need in terms of budget, what they need in terms of space, and what they need in terms of time. And this is going to be different for every club, and they can't just all be put together and say, oh, well, alright, we'll increase this or we'll give you that, when each of them has their own needs. As for actually getting more people to join, it's publicity. It's, giving clubs the opportunity to have their events, giving them the budget to do their events, but also a lot of people don't know, what clubs there are, where to find them, what events they do, and it's getting it out there, letting people see, like, this is our community, this is student life, this is what you can do, and just opening the sphere to everyone.
What past experiences do you have that make you think you will be successful in managing different personalities, conflicts, and student complaints throughout your term as president? Also, how do you plan on being a uniting force on the CSAs to make sure that everyone, including all the students and the members of the Executive Council, all their voices are heard throughout conversations?
Okay, so if we're going to talk about past experiences that might make me a bit more eligible to the position of president, I mean, the first and most obvious one is, as I repeated before, and I hate repeating, I don't want to repeat my speech, but I think the big point here is that I am the only candidate here who has spent time in the CSA. For the past year, I have dedicated my time. And not just the minimum amount required in the mandate. I spend most of my waking hours in the office. If you come in at 8 a.m. on any given day, I'm sitting there crying over a cup of coffee because of how tired I am. But I'm still there. I'm still there to answer every question. I already know the time it takes to commit. I have no problem with time commitment. I have never dropped anything because I could not commit the time. When I decide to do something, I do it. There is no quitting. There is no backing out at any point. There's more of it. For the past 2 years, I have worked at a grocery store at Matilda Mall. And even though I'm just a bagger, oftentimes when the supervisor goes out on the breaks, in the past year, I've consistently been the employee that they choose to supervise the rest of the workers while they're on break. That means that on top of my experience in the CSA, I also have experience supervising a team of people to do different jobs to make sure that in this case, an actual business gets run properly in the approximately 1 hour periods that I get to manage it for. What was the second part of the question?
How do you plan on being a uniting force on the CSA?
Delegation is important. I think that it's very important that everybody is clear on what their jobs are. Not to say that everybody can't help out, but I believe that when a task is at hand, the first thing you must do is to decide who's best to do it, who can help them out the most, and what's the plan of action. I'm sorry, can you repeat it again? I'm having like a flash of nervousness.
How do you plan on being a uniting force on the CSA?
Uniting force. So on top of delegation, you just think, this is where my experience comes back into play. Because of the fact that, now, just a bit of a clarification, as assistant member at large, My actual job is to help every single position on the CSA. The assistant, all of the positions are important. And while for example, former VP Internal will have a lot of knowledge on, for example, the jobs of the VP Internal. My job helps the VP Internal, I help the President, the VP External, Activities Coordinator, Communications Officer, Social Networking Officer, and every other position that I could name for you by heart off the top of my head. I know what they all have to do, I know when they have to do it, and I know the best way that they can do it because I've already seen them do it. And that is why I would be the best at uniting them into doing what needs to be done. Thank you.
Well, okay, past experience. Well, I've been in approximately I've been in 15 schools, so I know students, you know. I know people, I know how to think, all their main concerns, etc. So I've learned to adapt fast and to talk to people, being open-minded, etc. So I really believe that I can, I can adapt to this position really quickly. I can take the lead and talk and wait, let me just my mind is just okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Besides, I am a person that is really sensitive. I really like to help. It makes me happy to help. I want to be part of this because I think we're a group. We're a group. Maybe not family, kind of. And I know a lot of I've traveled, well not traveled, but I lived in 2 different countries, a lot of different cities and etc. I've planned manifestation and protest, and I lead something that was for kids, Catholic kids, whatever. I've done a lot of I don't say that. Oh my god, my word. I don't know the word. Okay. And I believe I can join people together because I'm really friendly. I like people. I'm a people person. I don't like to impose things. I'm really open-minded. I like to think things I like to think about stuff in different perspectives. I would actually listen to people, and I wouldn't just wait for people to just come by and say I want this. I would go and say hey dude, what do you think about that? And I don't know, I just don't see myself as a higher person. So yeah, basically I just believe that I believe in democracy. I'm pro-democratic. And I know a lot of people, and I've been in different places, different countries, different schools. So yeah, I think I'm good for this position because I love people, and I'm I don't know, it's just I just have to say it. I just love people. I love you guys.